Yo, what's up? This is B-Hop. I'd like to say what's up, man. E-Thriller, the Black Mosquito. What's going on? This is the champ, the Hall of Famer. Respect, the undisputed. Yeah.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
The Black Picasso cleaning up the sport of boxing, speaking facts over the gossip, haters all up in the comments. I ain't here to be liked, but smash that like and noti button. We don't sugarcoat nothing, just healthy boxing discussions. E-Thriller, painting these pictures oh so vivid, applying Duke Coach K, that straight full court pressure. Only God could judge me, so tell these chumps ducking smoke. Remember one thing that the boxing guys don't like, ugly. Shut out Big Fish and everybody that joins the panel. For all my new supporters, sub to the channel. Like Floyd say, it's easy work. That bait jab with that left hook send them straight to sleep. Experts, we the experts. We never sugarcoat. Tune in to Black Picasso. Sit back, enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.
Now, before I get into what I'm about to get into, I just want to make sure that each and every last one of y'all hit that like or dislike button. Don't forget to put some Coach K Duke full court pressure on that sub button if you're new to the channel. And please be sure to ring that noti bell so you can be notified via email each and every time your boy E-Thriller, aka Hamrothstein, aka the Black Picasso, because I paint these pictures so vividly with my words on the sport of boxing whenever I feel like it. And once again, fight fans, ladies and gentlemen in the Wolf Pack, welcome back. Now, first things first, man. Shout out to everybody that's watching this live stream podcast on my YouTube account, my Twitter account, my Twitch account, my Facebook account, and my IG. Salute. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all for slipping and sliding with your boy E-Thriller, aka the Black Picasso, man. We got a jam-packed show tonight. Of course, we got the special guest who is known by many in the Wolf Pack to be the boxing connoisseur, the boxing historian on YouTube. Shout out to my big bro Mosquito Spray, aka the human of boxing encyclopedia, aka Eddy Atlas is going to give his take on what transpired between Tszyu. Congratulations to him. He sent Tony Harrison last night, the sleep experts, in 9 rounds, y'all. And I mean, oh my God, it was a brutal beatdown, man. The fight didn't go the way that I planned for it to go because, of course, I was rooting for one of my favorite fighters in the sport, meaning, you know, Tony Harrison. Shout out to Superbad. But he didn't look that impressive last night, y'all. I mean, right off the rip. I mean, round 1, he came out. He kind of, you know, was getting into the rhythm of things. You know, putting that stick out there, trying to set things up with the jab, but he just wasn't letting his right hand go. He wasn't letting his hand go. And on top of it all, shout out to Jamel Charlo, who did a phenomenal job on the play-by-play commentary last night with Brian Custard and all the other individuals. Shout out to Showtime Sports. But he basically kept saying, like, look, this is not the same Tony Harrison. He's not using his legs. He's not using any lateral movement. Yes, he's throwing a jab, but for the most part, he's not following up with left hooks or uppercuts or straight right hands because he was afraid to get countered. But hats off to Tszyu, man. He came out and applied physical and mental pressure the entire fucking fight against Tony Harrison, man. I mean, hats off to him. I didn't know he had that type of skill set. Of course, I done seen him fight a couple of times, but the man, I just got to give a round of applause to him because he showed a lot of poise. He showed a lot of patience for his age because we know he hasn't really been on that big of a stage in the sport of boxing, you know, thus far. So I'm getting very, very excited to see what happens between Tszyu and a Jamel Charlo, the undisputed champ at 154 pounds, man, because I think it's going to be a dogfight. I think it's going to be a dogfight. And I'm willing to say this, man. I just want to be on record. I believe that Tszyu is a hell of a lot better than Brian Castano, right? In my personal opinion, because I just think he has more skills in his toolbox. And I think this fight is not going to go the way that a lot of people, when I put that poll up this morning, are saying it's going to go. Because as a matter of fact, let me triple check that poll as we speak. Shout out to everybody in this bitch, man. Make sure you hit the like button. And if you want to donate to the channel, the Cash App is available. I no longer have the Super Chat option. because somebody reported my channel. So my channel got demonetized. So I apologize for everybody that loves sending me super chats. If you want to support the channel, if you want to continue to rock with your boy E Thriller, aka the Black Picasso, financially, you can always send me a cash app to the Black Picasso 209. But looking at this goddamn this poll that I posted this morning, so far I got 247 votes. I asked the people who wins in the wolf pack between Jermell Charlo and Tim Tszyu. 80% are saying the champ, Jermell Charlo, the undisputed champ, at 154, and 20% are saying Tim Tszyu. So I want to keep an eye out on that throughout the show. Make sure y'all go hit my community page and go vote for that vote on that fight, man, because I think that fight is, I don't know, y'all. I think it's a toss-up. And I'm gonna say this, bro. I think Jermell might want to take a tune-up before he just come right off of an injury, allegedly, with that, what is it, his left hand or his right hand, and getting in the ring with Tim Tszyu is going to be fresh, who's going to have all of the confidence in the world because he was just wailing on Tony Harrison. I mean, you want to talk about hitting a man with everything underneath the kitchen sink. He was landing left hooks. He started landing the jab. He started landing right hands. He landed about 6 straight uppercuts. I repeat, 6 straight uppercuts, y'all. In the 9th round to close the show, he sent him to aisle number 9 at Sleep Experts. And as far as Tony Harrison, in my personal opinion, brother, I love you. Can't nobody talk shit in the sport of boxing the way that you talk shit. I believe that you have a future beyond, you know, in the ring. I think you will be a hell of a analyst or a commentator for ESPN or Showtime or The Zone or whatever the case may be. And we already know that you're training the champ. Shout out to Alicia Bumgarner, who is my favorite fighter in the sport. Yeah, I said it. We know that you're training her, you know, Mrs. Undisputed, right? So you got a career now. I just don't want to see you come back and take all that goddamn punishment that you have been taking over your last several fights, because I'm going to keep it a buck. Even the fight before this past fight against, who was it against? Sergio Garcia, he looked pretty decent, but he didn't really knock my socks off, right? And then the fight right after he lost his father, God bless Mr. Harrison, against Brian Perella, he didn't really look too hot in that fight, even though he got it done. And shout out to my guy, D-Town Blaster, man. I just got a cash app notification. Stop the presses. Shout out to my dog, D-Town Blaster, man. As a matter of fact, hold on, y'all. For that cash app donation, I truly appreciate it, man. This is one of my original day ones. He was around when I only had 5 people watching me, 10 people watching me, 15, man. He been here from day one. Shout out to my nigga D-Town Blaster. And also, stop the presses. Stop the motherfucking presses. Shout out to my dog, Mr. IOTBA, for that cash app donation. I really appreciate it. And y'all already know, man, I got to get you right. Where my clips at, Jack? Where my clips at? I owe y'all 2 clips. Where we at, man? This one is for my nigga D-Town Blaster. I appreciate it, my brother. Hit it, dogs, man, and I owe you one more. Shout out to my nigga IOTBA, man. I appreciate that cash out, fam. Let's go.
Y'all gotta hype my man up. Hype him
Hey, hustle man. The damn dog ain't doing nothing, man.
Yeah, man, we still waiting on Mosquito Spray, aka Eddy Atlas, to come on and break down this fight, man. But yeah, man, so Tony Harrison, I just feel like, man, it's time, my brother. It's time. You ain't got nothing left to prove, because let's just say, for the sake of the argument, you had to beat a Tim Tszyu. I don't even think you would have beat Charlo for the 3rd time. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, man, I just think it's time to hang it up. Him and what's the other nigga name? Jared Hurd, who put on a pedestrian performance. I think it was last weekend, if I'm not mistaken. He was getting dinged on as well. And I'm not even being facetious. I'm not trying to be funny, y'all, but I just think it's time for Tony Harrison to just leave the sport behind. It's time, man. It's time to hang him up. But as far as Tim Tszyu, I'm looking forward to this fight with Charlo, but I'm going to throw a caveat out there, because I don't know if y'all remember this or not, but a couple of days ago, right, Tim Tszyu was on record of calling out the big fish, Earl Spence, one of, if not the biggest star at the PBC, one of, if not the biggest stars in the sport of boxing. Yeah, I said it. in Earl Spence Jr., who currently holds 3 belts at 147 pounds. Now, we know that the fight between Terrence Crawford has yet to be made. We know that Earl Spence filed for special permission to fight Keith Thurman at 154 pounds with no belts on the line. But my thing is this: if you don't want to fight Keith Thurman, and if you can't get the deal done with Terrence Bud Crawford, then go ahead and move up to 154. And wouldn't it be great for Earl Spence to make his mark in a new weight class in that motherfucking daunting division at 154 pounds by saying, look, man, you call me out, I'm stepping up to the plate. If I go ahead and get you out the way, then look, man, maybe, just maybe, I don't know what's going on with the whole Charlo situation. I don't know if Charlo has to fight Tim Tszyu right off the rip, coming back from that hand injury, or does he get to take a tune-up? I don't know. I don't know if Earl Spence can kind of creep his way in and kind of, position himself to try to fight a Tim Tszyu. So that way, maybe, just maybe, we might get a fight for undisputed between Earl Spence Jr. and his former sparring partner in Jamel Charlo. And I would love to see that fight. So it's a lot of endless opportunities out there for Earl Spence Jr. and Tim Tszyu and everybody at the PBC, because we know that they love to do shit in-house. We know that they have one of, if not the most powerful men in the sport of boxing, unfortunately, in the great Al Heyman. Yes, I said the great Al Heyman, who knows how to bust these moves behind the scenes and position his fighters that he's advising to, make the best possible moves for their career. So I wouldn't be shocked by that happening at all, but shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me check on my motherfucking likes. I got about to run my 34 people in here with 26 likes. Can other people please hit my like button? Pretty please. Can y'all please hit my like button? I mean, god damn. Can you please hit the like button? Pretty please. But anyway, man, let me read some of these comments, and I'm still waiting for Mosquito Spray to pull up so he can give his take on the fight, man. Starting from the top, man. Shout out to my boy D. John W. He said best friend was popping. He said, Tony, don't retire just yet. Hey, man, I think you need to retire. I think it's a wrap, bro. I don't want to see him take any more punishment because, let's be honest, who he going to fight at 154 that he can beat? I don't know if he can even beat a Brian Castano because his back was on the ropes all night long. The man was just throwing a jab and basically just backing up straight in a straight line, and then he was getting dinged on with overhand rights and uppercuts and body shots. He just doesn't respond well to getting hit, and I don't know if that's because he's been in so many wars. I mean, granted, the man has only had, how many fights? Hold on. The man is 29-4, but he done been knocked out 4 times, y'all. That's a lot, y'all. I'm just saying, man. I would love for him to come back and fight, but god damn it, I'm just looking out for the man's personal safety. That's just me. But hey, I could be wrong. Y'all let me know in the chat. I could be reaching. What up to my guy X-Man, man? I see you in the building. He said salute E3 and the Wolfpack was popping, fam. How are you, kind sir? Yeah, man, this is a special Sunday night edition. And keep in mind that we got the Brimley Awards coming up in a little bit. So y'all stay tuned, hit that like button, and I'm going to let the BFB Master Q break that down along with my brother in real life, the General Big Fish. So y'all hang tight for that. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. I think I just got another notification. Hold on, y'all. Let me double check. Let me see. Shout out to my nigga IOTBA for another donation, man. I appreciate it, my brother. He said for the play one when Martin Dancing and Gina come in, hey, man, you want it? You can get it. Let me find my clip. Hit it. I appreciate that, my nigga IOTBA, man. I appreciate all the cash apps, man, because once again, I don't have a super chat. Some nigga on YouTube reporting me, but it is what it is. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Golden. He said it's showtime with my brother E-Thriller. I appreciate it. How are you, kind sir? He said, X-Man, salute. He said, Tony is done. Yeah, Mr. Golden. I believe he done too, bro. I would love to get your take on this situation as soon as Mosquito come on and pop his shit and break it down, because ain't nobody going to be able to break it down like him, right? But shout out to Mr. Golden. Let me see. Who haven't I got? He said, okay, this better be good, little bro. You have me all ears. I appreciate it. What up to my nigga from the DMV, Jamal, man? I see your boy. He said, shout out. E3 was popping, fam. Salute. Yeah, man. Shout out to Mr. Golden. Shout out to my dog IOTBA. Make sure y'all go sub up to his account. And the Spit Bucket Facebook group if you love to get it in the chats and pop your shit about the sport of boxing. We get it in all night. Let me see, man. Shout out to my nigga D Young. I see you in this bitch was popping, fam. Salute. Out the presses. Shout out to my motherfucking brother in big life, man. General Big Fish. I appreciate it, my brother. Hey, man, it's always a pleasure whenever the general pulls up in the building. And hold on. I think I just got another notification. Oh, okay. Shout out to my nigga IOTBA for another Cash App donation. I appreciate it, my brother. He said for your favorite one, hey, man, I appreciate it. And you already know. I got to get you right, fam, since you keep sending me these goddamn super chats. I appreciate it, Io. Hold on, y'all. Let's get it.
No, a lot of these niggas be out here biting on my nigga E-Thriller shit. A lot of these niggas be scared to debate my nigga E-Thriller. They be in the backgrounds lurking and shit. These copycat ass niggas. I be seeing all you niggas out here with y'all Rudy Poo face ass. Can't stand you, nigga. Be original, lame ass niggas. What's wrong with niggas? Copycat. Hey, I want to be like him. Sometimes I dream that he like E-Thriller. If I could be like E-Thriller, I want to be like it. If I E-Thriller face ass nigga, get your own style, nigga. Sometimes I dream that he like E-Thriller. If I could be like E-Thriller, I be seeing all these lame ass niggas out. Yeah, I see you, nigga. Sometimes I dream that he like E-Thriller. If I could be like E-Thriller, I want to be like E-Thriller. Face ass niggas.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my nigga IOTBA, aka Mr. 214, man. And let's stop the presses, man. My special guest has finally arrived. Shout out to my dog, my brother, Mosquito Spray, aka Eddy Atlas, aka the boxing historian, aka the human boxing encyclopedia. He's pulled up on the Wolfpack and E-Thriller. How are you, kind sir?
E-Thriller, what's happening, man? How you been?
Hey, man, I appreciate you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come on and educate us about the sport of boxing, my brother. I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, man. Appreciate you having me.
Oh, anytime, man. We got to make this a regular thing, man, because you got a lot of knowledge that people such as myself and everybody in the chat and in these YouTube streets need to learn, bro. For real, for real.
Right on, right on.
Already, man. So let's get right to it, man. What was your biggest takeaway from the fight last night between Tszyu and Tony Harrison? The floor is yours, my brother.
Yeah, I really, man. I mean, I was impressed with Tszyu, the kind of work he did, man. You know, his timing was a lot better than I thought. You know what I'm saying? The way he was, leading and countering at times, and just he kept Harrison off balance. I thought it'd be the other way around. You know, with Harrison, with the lateral movement, which he lacked a whole lot. The other thing, man, I mean, the ring they were in, I mean, granted, it was the size of a sparring ring, you know what I'm saying?
That shit was small.
But, I mean, Harrison, I'm sure he looked at the contracts, so he knew what he was getting himself into. Yeah. But, I mean, he kept he kept backing straight up, man, and going on the ropes, like you saying earlier, man. He's not taking shots well, man. He like his head was snapping back. Oh, man, it was looking
every
bad,
time,
man.
Bro. Every time, bro.
Yeah, and it's like you got the feeling kind of like probably from the second round on, because that was the round he hurt him when he put him in the corner with that shot.
I think he only really had 2 good rounds in the fight. I believe it was round number 1 when he came out. He controlled that round with the jab throughout, and then I believe it was round number 4. But after that, like round 2, 3, and beyond, oh my God, you are correct.
That moment, and I believe round 2 when Tszyu hurt him, man, it felt you had the feeling like Tszyu could have ended it at any time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It was just I don't know. Harrison was just looking vulnerable, man. And then his legs, man. I mean, his legs. He wasn't using his legs. And then he was just strictly throwing. I think he only threw and they showed the stats. He only threw like 75 power punches the whole fight.
Do you think that was a case of him being afraid to get countered with that? Because I saw Tszyu kind of shoulder rolling and trying to land that uppercut.
Yeah,
whenever he
he
tried to
came back with
land that
uppercut.
lead right hand. Was that the situation, or how did you see that?
No, man, it was just I just think he just thought he could just keep my balance with the jab because his brother, in his corner was telling him, let it go, man, let it go. He just wasn't letting it go, and he was doing too much waiting, too much posing, and Tszyu was out just simply out. Other than hurting him, when he wasn't hurting him, he was out working him. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so the rounds when Harrison was looking good, and also like that first Charlo fight when he had the first Charlo fight when Harrison won, I initially thought that Charlo won going by a bigger margin or whatever than
Me too.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? But I went back and watched it. What it was kind of similar to like back in the old HBO days when Lampley would commentate Pacquiao or whoever to a victory. I felt like Joe Goosen was guilty of that night because if you listen to him, you thought Charlo won the fight with ease, and that's what I was listening to. And then I went back. Harrison had some beautiful moments when he was boxing beautifully, but you just felt like it wasn't enough. And that's what last night felt like. And because of Tszyu's activity, man, he had Harrison back on the ropes, about 75% of the fight. You just had that feeling like he just getting outworked, and then when it's like he just hurt him whenever. You know what I'm saying? It just was not looking good, man. And I've seen, like you said, I've seen a lot of people on the internet and stuff and on social media just saying, "Oh, Harrison is washed up." Nah, you got to give Tszyu some credit.
Saying that before the fight, though.
Yeah, you got to give Tszyu some credit, man. I mean, he played a role in making Harrison look that way. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then don't forget the second Charlo fight when Harrison got stopped. He was at times was walking Charlo back and was outworking him and outboxing him. You know what I'm saying? So they've had two very close fights, him and Charlo. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just say Harrison washed up, so 1 + 1 = 2, and Charlo gonna destroy Tim Tszyu. Nah, that ain't how it's gonna work, man. I mean, I'm interested in the fight now because, like I said, the reason I was impressed is I haven't seen a lot of Tszyu. You know what I'm saying? The only fight I really sat down and watched his was that Gachet fight, and I wasn't that impressed. Yeah, I wasn't really impressed. You know what I'm saying? But what I saw last night and the guy he did that to last night. That was impressive, man, and you could see, that sneaky right hand. He got some of his father in him, man. He got some attributes of his father. I'm not saying he, on that level, but he's not just no straight up and down tomato can. You know what I'm saying? He ain't just he ain't coming to lay down for nobody. And Charlo better be on his shit when he get in there.
What you think about what I stated earlier before you came on, Mosquito? I'm not sure if you heard me, but I said I don't know if Charlo want to just get right into a fight with this dude coming off the injury. He may want to take a tune-up.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends, man. I know one thing, he been out underestimated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you think that was the case with Tony Harrison last night? Do you think he underestimated him?
I don't, man. He just looked flat last night, man. I mean, his jab was beautiful as usual, but he just wasn't doing enough work, man. He was not throwing no power shots. He was throwing 1-2 shots at a time, and then just waiting and waiting. Yeah, he was not being first consistently, and then Tszyu was filling that space with his jab at times. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you could hear his brother getting on him like, you're doing even when the rounds with Harrison, where you could, because I had it because Farhood, I mean, his card, he was tripping. He gave Harrison one round. I had it like the officials. I had it 5-3 for Tszyu, and but even those rounds when Harrison got it, I mean, like that, he's like, shit, that's still close because he was still letting Tszyu, do some work, man. And he just wouldn't get off them ropes and get in the middle of the ring or just move laterally, man, and get that kind of off balance. Because Tszyu is a guy that has to be set to get his shots off. You have to move with a guy like that, man. He's I mean, he looked like a heavy puncher from what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So, shit, you can't.
And Eddie Atlas, to your point, bro, he never once backed him up, bro. Like, he was coming forward the entire fight, bro. Like, even like you stated earlier, he backed Jermell up. At times, he was pressing forward. At times, he was pressing Jermell Charlo. He didn't do that one time in his fight last night, bro. That's a hell of a point.
Not one time. I'm talking about from the opening bell. And then what was getting on my, I was hollering. I'm hollering. I'm like, man, why he was backing straight up? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's and as beautiful as, because Harrison is a beautiful boxer, boxer. Yeah. A fundamental rule, boxing 1-on-1, you never back straight up. especially not with your hands down like he was doing. If you have the back straight up, you put your hands up or you throwing punches. Otherwise, you get out of there at an angle. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah, he wasn't
you
doing
don't
that at
back
all.
straight. And Zoo was just taking that step forward, following him straight back and standing on top of him, man. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing, man. And then once the pressure just got to him, Harrison just tried to gut it out with him on the inside, and that was recipe for disaster. Just a matter of time before he got caught with something.
Yep.
And
that was his last resort, bro. He couldn't help but to fight on the inside because he was too tired from running all goddamn night. He couldn't move. His legs was gone.
Yeah. And then the end of the fight, man. You know what it reminded me of? You remember that fight early in Tank's career? He fighting a Hispanic guy. He threw them uppercuts, hit him like 4 or 5 uppercuts, and the ref had to step in.
Yeah,
that's how.
God. Speaking of the ref, Mosquito, go ahead, finish making your point. I was going to ask you about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's how that's what that ending reminded me of, man.
Yeah, man. I don't know what that ref, because he was clearly out on his feet like the entire round 9, bro.
Man,
that was very painful to watch, bro. I can't even watch that fight no more.
Yeah, he turned his back and stuff. I'm like, oh man, it was bad.
But then you got some fans though to that point though, Mosquito. On the flip side, you got a lot of fans that, you know, with the whole Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford situation, they stopped the fight. Why did K Diddy do this? So you kind of like, it's a catch-22 if you the ref. Like, if you stop the fight too early, the people gonna criticize you. But if you don't stop it, then you know the other people still gonna criticize you, like me, because I feel like he should have stepped in.
Yeah, but
the hard
thing is, man.
Yeah,
a lot of these fans, man. A lot of them ain't never been there. They don't have no loved one that's been in there, and they don't know because that one more punch that the ref let land could be the one that can do permanent damage or something.
Yeah,
you know, you got, and we got hundreds of guys, thousands of guys. I'm sure that we can go down a list of names that, you know, refs. Pretty sure refs wish they stepped in sooner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's it. You don't want to, you know, he did. He took a lot of shots, man. At the end, it was, man, he couldn't defend himself,
bro. Flush.
Yeah, it was ugly, man. And
so
I felt bad for Harrison.
Let me ask you this, bro. Moving forward, what do you expect? Like, what would you recommend moving forward for Tony Harrison? Because I think he should retire, bro. To that you say,
I would say if he does fight again, just go to Detroit or something, Michigan, and have a farewell fight again. You know, a fight that he can win or something, and just go out, you know, with a victory, or just not fight again. Because you think about it, to be a champion, he's gonna have to beat Jamel Charlo or Tim Tszyu. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we see what happened in them fights.
Yeah.
And I mean, Charlo, even in the fight that he won, Charlo was able to hurt him, you know, several times in that fight. And it is the true thing, man. I've seen all this, the fights he got that he lost. The first one with Willie Nelson, he lost focus around 19th round, got caught and hurt. Jared Hurd just, you know, like when Hurd was at his peak, he just wearing everybody down. And he did that to Harrison, man. It was just ugly. And then the Charlo fight, he lost focus or whatever and got hurt. You know, he traded left hooks with Charlo. Charlo's got a side of his right hand and hurt him, man. Harrison don't take punches too well. Because early in his career, because I saw him on the come up, man. They was advertising him as this big puncher, you know, stopping everybody, you know, fighting, you know, lower rated guys or whatever. But then once he started stepping up, man, you know, he didn't stay sharp the whole 12 rounds, and it cost him. And he don't have the power to get guys, you know, the top rated guys out of there like that. Right. So he has to box, and he is a beautiful boxer, man. But he just loses focus. And last night, I don't know, man. He didn't utilize his advantages, man. He didn't fight he had a 5-6 inch reach advantage. Didn't utilize that. Didn't utilize his footwork. Didn't try to even attempt to keep the fight in the middle of the ring. Even when they were intimate, he just walked back to the ropes, man. I don't know what he was doing, man. And it just, he got wore down in them body shots and then getting countered. And like I say, landing right hand, Zeus counter with an uppercut to the solar plexus. God damn, shit like that hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the body shots was taking its toll on him too, bro. Man, it wasn't that competitive at all, bro. Like, in my opinion, I had that fight going into the fight way more competitive than it turned out to be.
Yeah, I thought Harrison gonna be turning them all night, just boxing brilliantly. You know what I'm saying? I read it, you know what I'm saying? I think Harrison was put on the show, you know what I'm saying? But God damn, it didn't go that way.
We were talking that shit, but let me ask you this about Tim Tszyu. Now, he did call out Errol Spence. What was it, about a week and a half ago? How do you see that fight playing out if it were to get made?
Man, Spencer I haven't seen the 54 spins yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to say because of course the bigger guys in that weight class, I don't think he's gonna be able to bull them guys like he does it. Most of the guys at welterweight.
Right.
And if he talks about this other dimension he's gonna have to show it at 54, man. I think a good introductory fight for him at 54 would be Erickson Lubin. They both southpaws. They were both highly rated coming out of the amateurs, man, and there was a lot of talk about them fighting back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And I would love to see that fight at Spencer's first fight at 54. And then if that's what he's gonna do, yeah, Lubin ain't gonna lay down. You know what I'm saying? He gonna give you what he got, like for the time it lasts or whatever. And I love to see that. And then, but yeah, Tim Tszyu, man, he earned some respect from me last night.
Yeah, man,
he said it wasn't his motherfucking name. Shit, we all know now.
Yeah, he put the entire boxing world on notice last night with that performance. That was very impressive. I was impressed.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
he
this.
Destroyed Harrison, man.
Hey, the way that fight played out last night, I'm kind of thinking it's a way that Caleb Plant and David Benavidez may end up going. Because I know a lot of people. I don't know why. It's a lot of people picking Caleb Plant to upset David Benavidez, and I'm just one of them niggas that's like, look, I know Caleb Plant can box. I know he got the shoulder roll defense. He's very technically sound. He has a great jab, great instincts, great technique, great ring. He does everything. He checks all the boxes. But my one particular issue with him, Mosquito Spray, is I don't know if he has enough power to keep the Mexican monster off of him for 12 rounds, bro.
Yeah, that's a good thing. But I think one difference that Caleb Plant has now, and this guy is very underrated, man. And that's Stephen Breadman Edwards, his new trainer.
Yeah.
He's a very excellent trainer. He was J-Rock's trainer, you know what I'm saying? And you see how sharp he was. He's on top of his game because even that Charlo fight where J-Rock got stopped, he was winning that fight. He was outboxing the shit out of Charlo. He just couldn't take the power, you know what I'm saying? But
right.
And then he the one that undressed Jared Hurd that night, took them belts from him.
Who that, Mosquito?
J-Rock Williams.
Oh yeah. I remember that fight. You're right. I remember that shit.
Yeah, so I mean, Bread man, I think he'll make a difference, man.
Though. Jared Hurd, he need to hang him up too, bro. He had
he looked bad. Was that last weekend?
I hate watching him fight, bro. The nigga be coming out bruised up. I'm like, oh, this nigga can't see. And then, did you see that nigga lip the other night, bro?
Yeah, he got it was cut. Yeah, it was bad.
Oh,
it was bad.
God.
Yeah, he ain't got
Harrison to me.
Yeah, he ain't got no future. I guess because he I don't know how he make a 54 all that time. He come in on fight night a damn cruiserweight.
Yeah, he did. Real big.
And at 60, it don't look like he even able to hurt these guys. So yeah, he might well go and hang it up, man. He's a man without a weight class now. Too big for 54, and he's 60. He can't hurt nobody, and they apparently hurting his ass. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree with you, man. He can't keep fighting that goddamn head first shit at that weight class.
Yeah, that shit ain't gonna cut it, bro. It ain't gonna cut it at all. But hey, man, hold on, man. Let me go ahead and go out to my brother, the BFB Master Q. You're live on the chat with the Woodpack. Holler at me, fam. What's poppin'?
What's good with it, E3?
Hey, man, what's poppin', man? How are you, kind sir?
Oh, man, I'm okay, man. I'm okay. I'm listening to you and Mosquito Spray talk about the fight last night, and I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought Tony Harrison was gonna put on a better performance than what he did, because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I watched the fight and I only gave him one round. I gave him the first round. That's it. He didn't have enough power with that jab. Yeah. He didn't have nothing to keep Tszyu up off of him. And in the later rounds, he got drowned. I agree with you. In the 9th round, I thought the ref was going to stop that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, that man was getting hit with some shit. I was so glad that they finally did stop it. They act like they was going to give him another shot to just get demolished or whatever, man. As far as his career, I truly feel and believe that him being if he fighting to be a world champion again, that ain't happening. You're a world champion trainer. You got Alicia Honey Buns. I mean, Bumgarner. Goddamn, man.
Honey Buns.
You got Alicia Baumgartner. You got a good thing going on, man. Right?
Yeah.
If I was Tony Harrison, man, I would put my everything into her and her career, man. That's what I would do if I was him. Because the only thing he could be is a proud gatekeeper, aka a Gabe Rosario. You could be him. And I don't know if he want to do. You ain't got to do that when you got Alicia Baumgartner. I think that is over with for Tony, man.
I mean, yeah, you're right. That's a hell of a point, Q, because we all know he can sell the hell out of a fight. So that's one thing that they can use him for at the PBC. But outside of that, you're right, bro. But to that point that you said about Alicia Baumgartner, you know, I don't know if you heard the rumors. I've been all over social media, and there was a lot of people saying that that's what he was doing last night before the fight. I'm just saying.
Oh man, god damn, man, leave the honey bun.
They saying that's why the man. They saying that's why the man didn't have no legs last night. I don't know. Q. I'm only reporting what I see.
God damn, nigga, you got you some victory coochie. You know what I'm saying? You know you don't do nothing, especially when you an athlete. That's the last thing you do, bro.
It ain't no telling, fam. It ain't no telling, bro. But let me go out to Mr. IOTBA. You're live on the chat with the Wolfpack. Talk to me, fam. What's poppin'?
Hey, man, shout out to GOAT Thriller, E-Thriller, the Black Picasso. Shout out to my dog, Mosquito Spray. Shout out to Mr. Q, what's poppin'. And shout out to the General, Big Fish. Shout out to the whole Wolfpack that's in the chat. Damn, I ain't see that.
Yeah, I've been seeing that shit on Twitter and shit like that, IO. Go ahead. What was your takeaway from the fight last night? I know you did like a little breakdown on Facebook. So give the people.
So my takeaway is this. Like Tim Tszyu is what he said he is. What he did last night was a master class, bro. From the beginning. And if you've seen him from the start of the fight, what was the most important thing that he did to get Tony Harrison confused and offset? Him fainting. And if everybody's seen that, go watch the fight at the beginning of the round, how he coming in fainting and getting Tony Harrison confused. But this right here is what stopped Tony Harrison from throwing that right hand. That mean ass left hook.
Oh, so he got left hook. Okay.
Yeah, because every time Tony Harrison attempted to throw that right hand, Tim Tszyu would throw that left hook off top. And I think in the second round, that's when Tony Harrison was very cautious going forward. To throw that right hand. But my thing is this: like Tony Harrison was ready for that fight last night. Let's just all be honest. Tim Tszyu was just better. He showed us it ain't the hype behind his legendary father. He said, like my guy Mosquito Spray, what's my motherfucking name? Right? And he put the whole world on notice. This guy is a problem, right? Because the way he went in there and master class whooped Tony Harrison last night was unprecedented. You can go back and look at the first two Charlo fights. Tony Harrison won the first fight, in my opinion, because he was outboxing him. And in the second fight, Tony Harrison, in my opinion, had an edge before he got knocked out by Jermell Charlo. And I want everybody to look at this. It was never no point in that fight where, besides the first round of Tony Harrison just using his jab, where we felt like Tim Tszyu was threatening, where we felt that Tony Harrison was going to be able to threaten Tim Tszyu with anything. It was no part of that fight. Tim Tszyu is the real deal. Now, I'm not sitting up here saying he's going to beat Jermell Charlo, right? That's yet to be determined. They still got to get in that square circle and figure that out. But what I am gonna say is, don't think that Tim Tszyu can't beat Jermell Charlo, because Tim Tszyu did something that Jermell Charlo couldn't do: dominate Harrison damn near the whole fight.
Already, is that your take, Ayo?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, let me ask you this, Ayo, before I go to Brim. Are you intrigued by the matchup of Errol Spence and Tim Tszyu? Because you know he called him out, right?
He called him out?
Yeah, he called out Errol Spence about a week ago because, you know, Errol said he was going to bet $10K on Tony.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm intrigued with that because Errol Spence is a better fighter than Jermell Charlo. I seen it firsthand. I seen it hundreds and hundreds of rounds. Errol Spence going to 154, not only will he be a better fighter, but him not having to suck all that weight down, he'll go to 154 and purely dominate. But let's not talk about Errol Spence. Let's talk about how Terrence Crawford always clout chaser. Like, this is the biggest clout chaser in boxing. Dude always got something to say, but never fight nobody. I'm just saying.
What Bud say about the fight? I must have missed it. What did he say?
Bud said something like he ain't ready or something like that. He said on Twitter or something. He said, man. He said,
I ain't see that.
Yeah, like, come on now, Crawford. We know how you roll, Crawford.
Well, I mean, shit, he may have an opportunity to fight him if he move up to 154.
Yeah, but I mean, is he gonna do that though? Like,
I don't know.
You know what? I would want to see it, right? I would want to see it. I would want to see Crawford go up to 154 and fight the winner out of Tim Tszyu and Jermell Charlo. I would want to see it, but like, we got to be realistic about it. Jermell Charlo is the undisputed champion, right? So if Tim Tszyu, let's just say if Tim Tszyu win the fight, we know that Crawford ain't gonna get an immediate shot because Jermell Charlo being the undisputed champion, he gonna have it in his contract where he get an immediate rematch.
Right. Good point.
That's my check.
All right, man. Going out to my dog, the unbiased Brimley. You're live on the chat with the Wolfpack. Talk to me, fam. What's popping?
Blessings, my brother. How are you, man?
Peace. I'm good. How are you, kind sir?
I'm good. I'm just chewing on this pizza. Shout out to everybody on the panel. You know, Big Fish, IOTBA, Q. And it's nice to hear Mosquito Spray. It's been a while. I like when he be around. And everybody in the chat. I apologize to Joey as well for accidentally muting him. I dozed off for a second. I noticed that I accidentally muted him. But I agree with almost everything everybody said, except for Io's bud slander at the very end. We ain't hearing all that bullshit. Really, what I think, and I found this out. Tony Harrison's father passed away.
Facts. Yep.
Tony Harrison's brother kind of had to push him into the gym.
Yep.
Not making an excuse, because I don't think it would have made a difference. But I think that affected him for this fight. His movement definitely wasn't there. He spent way too much time on the ropes.
Yep.
The second round, I knew the fight was over. And I had a very, very, very soft decision for Harrison, but I wasn't confident because I knew that he could possibly get knocked out. And Tim Tszyu is for real. Like, world-class, championship caliber. He's patient. He picks his shots well. He doesn't force the issue. And he got clean power in his shots. Tim Tszyu is going to be a challenge for Charlo. It's going to be an excellent fight. I don't expect the younger Charlo to duck him. He got 180 days. And we gonna see. And yes, Harrison should be retiring, focusing on training Alicia and getting a stable of fighters because he's an excellent trainer. And I can't believe people talking about he was knee deep in Alicia. That's why last time I checked, he was just training her. Nothing more, nothing less. But you know, Twitter is that ridiculous.
Yeah,
People like it.
that's why I saw that shit on Twitter. Yep, good.
Yeah, I don't know why I even brought that up, bro. Because you know, a lot of people would be talking on Twitter, be talking out the side of their neck and out their ass cheeks. So, you know, it's been a pretty solid career. He got a chance to be a world champion. It's just that, you know, he's not. I don't think he has the discipline to compete at the world championship level, and the fact that his power doesn't translate. You know, when you're dealing with world champions, he has to box to win. And after 4 KO losses, I think it's been real. And like earlier, maybe one hometown fight, and then, you know, wave goodbye. And that's how I feel about the fight. That, you know, any other topic we can get in, but just in regards to the fight, that's it for me.
I appreciate that, Brim. Let me go ahead and pass the mic to Mr. Golden. You're live on the chat with the Woodpack. How are you, kind sir?
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on, man?
Mosquito Spray, Quentin, Mr. LTBA, Stephen Brimlow. How y'all gentlemen doing?
Doing all right, Mr. Golden.
What's going on? Man, man, your boy need to hang it up, man.
Talk to me. What was your take on the fight?
Man, I call it last night. He walked to the ring, man. He didn't let confidence to me at all last night, man. He didn't, I mean, he came in, basically when fighters come to the ring, you know, they look confident, they focus. And then also, I look at his last fight he had. He didn't look too good in the last fight to me.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't look at the last fight he had. I think he better squeak that one out, you know. And it make no, you can't take away what your boy Tim did, man. Tim, he just like he was on a mission. I mean, Tony hit him with some good shots, but like he just ate that shit, man. Like it wasn't nothing. I mean, he was like, shit, man, what the hell you hitting me with some little shit? You know, I mean, I was like, and I called. I told him, I said, I get between 7 and 8, but he got him out at 9. But like I said, man, that shit was ugly in the 9th round, man.
Yeah, man, that was hard to watch, Mr. Gold.
Man, I seen the clip when the man hit he was hitting him, and they just had a clip. He just hanging on the ropes. How his face, man was still hitting him. I said, shit, that shit reminded me when Ray Mercer beat the shit out of goddamn Tommy Morrison ass.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But that, you know, shit. I mean, that's pretty much on that thing. Man, it's just ridiculous, man. But I think Charlo may or may not fight him. I don't know. It'll be a very good fight. And between him and Earl, I think it'll be a dog fight. You feel me? It's gonna be it'll be a chess match.
4 fighters, man. That'll be explosive.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, like I said, that would be. It depends on how Earl handles himself at 154. You feel what I'm saying? If Earl can come in and handle himself at 154, then that'll be a good fight. But who knows? And I'm telling you, he might can't handle it.
So let me ask you this, Mr. Golden, based off of what you saw last night from Tszyu, who do you give the edge to against Jermell Charlo coming off that injury?
Tszyu. I get it, Tszyu. I mean, you know, I'm just it's just something about Charlo to me. Don't get me wrong, he's a good fighter, but there's something about Charlo to me. He just don't have that next level to me. I mean, come on, that fight they made a draw of him and my man fought, he literally like shit. You know, I mean, my man took it to his ass, and Tszyu, one of the pressure fighters, he gonna be in their chest, and he got to bring it. Like you said, he need a tune up before he out to come out the hand before he's gonna fuck with Tszyu though.
Yeah, I think he definitely should take a tune up. Yeah, for
he
sure.
He got to take a tune up. He comes off that injury and going in a fight that man like that. If he can't keep Tszyu off of him, it's gonna be a long night, dog. Tim gonna walk him down.
But see, that's the thing though. We know Charlo got the power to keep him off, so
yeah.
I don't think that's gonna be a situation like Tony Harrison. I think Charlo can, you know, hit him with a couple of check left hooks and some uppercuts, and you know, Charlo be throwing that crazy ass shit. Get a motherfucker. And then he got a great jab too. So
yeah, he got a great jab. See, you know, that what Tony messed up last night. Tony, you know, Tony didn't really have too much good foot movement last night. He didn't do like he normally do, fight, stick and move. He tried to get the jab in, but shit. I think he did much better when he settled down and stood in the pocket with him. Shit to me.
Yeah, I think it's just one of them nights, man. He had one of them nights where nothing wasn't working. So shit, man.
Okay.
That's why the outcome was what it was.
Yeah, man, but goddamn, that nigga hit him about 20 uppercut. That shit was crucial. Give me a headache looking at that shit.
Yeah, man. Well, shit,
Big
let me
Fish
go ahead and
wanted
pass
him to
the
get
mic, Mr.
killed in the
Golden.
ring. He thought the referee didn't stop. It was cool not stopping it.
But I think Tim could have got him out earlier though. I mean, he was hurting Tony earlier. He hurt Tony a couple times earlier, man.
Yeah, the third round. I think that's when it was over. I realized the fight was over at that point because he hurt him bad in the third round.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he just wanted to beat him up for all that shit he was talking.
He talked some cool shit. And, and also I'll go back think about what Tony said in his comments before the fight. He said, "Man, just give me the check." Remember he made that? Did y'all remember he said that? He said, "I'm just here for the check." He said, "Give me the check, line them, and let me get the money." So when he said that shit there, I figured, hey, he in it for the money,
Yeah. All right, Mr. Golden. Let me go ahead and pass the mic to General Big Fish, man, so we can get to
you got Big Fish in the corner. What's up, Big Fish?
Yeah. So we can get to these Brimley Awards real quick, and
What's
then I'm gonna
up,
drop the
Go?
link for anybody in the chat that want to come on and rock with us, man. General Big Fish, you live on the chat, the Wolfpack. Talk to me, bro. What's popping?
E3, what's going on, man?
Man, I can't call it. How are you, kind sir?
I'm chilling, man. Mosquito Spray, what's up, bro? My right brothers, what's going on?
What
What
happened,
up?
man?
What up,
What's
Fish?
good with it, General?
Hey, E Thriller, you didn't promote the Brimley segment correctly. It was sponsored by that Wendy's he over there eating.
Nah, he said he was eating some pizza, man.
Thank you. Peace,
He
homie.
stuffing his face with some pizza.
That was brought to you by Domino's, Wolfpack.
Domino's, hell no.
That nigga said
You don't
Domino's.
fuck with Domino's?
Man, the piece is Godfather, man. About to fuck with Domino's.
None of that. We do.
We
Listen,
ain't got no Godfathers down here.
I live somewhere. I live in a city where it's one of the best pizza cities in the entire country. So,
sure about that?
New Haven, Connecticut, bro. You better go. You better go research, bro.
Okay,
that's all I'm gonna say about
that. Hey, Big Fish, man, what was your takeaway from the fight last night before we get into these Brimley Awards?
Man, I'm real hurt about last night, man. I heard the breakdown that y'all been giving or whatever, and Mosquito Spray, I agree with him somewhat. He didn't just fall off a cliff, but what Brimley just said, that was enough for me to see, like, yeah, I'm gonna give him a little bit of a pass now and kind of say I see why he looked how he looked. It looked like he swam over there last night, man, or yesterday, whatever time. He was just affected by it. He just didn't have his legs. I know Devin Haney went over there and fought, so I know it's possible to go over there and get a victory, even though you're not acclimated to that time zone and all of that. Right. So I can't give him too many excuses. I didn't expect the fight to go that way at all. The first 3 rounds, I gave Tony Harrison with just the jab. But I started noticing, well, it's debatable, but you have to give him 2 out the first 3 unless your eyes was closed. That's just me. He didn't throw nothing but a jab, but he was controlling the distance at first. Initially, he wasn't on the ropes in the first 2 rounds. That third round is when he started putting his back up against them ropes. And I can't believe they put the man in the 3x3 ring last night, man. That shit wasn't fair, man. But he wouldn't throw the right hand because it looked like he was terrified of that power that Tim had. So he looked outmatched last night. And I think it was the big thing was the power difference. He didn't have any power, he didn't have any legs. So and to what Brimley said, yeah, I didn't think the referee may have let 1 or 2 punches go, maybe too far. But I remember when the reason why I'm saying this is when Charlo had him in the same position, the referee saved him. And what did Harrison immediately do? He protested.
Yeah,
so
I
this
remember
time
that.
we wouldn't go, you're not gonna say, hey, he stopped it too early. Hey, this is a brutal sport. I understand what y'all saying. It was a heartbreaking way to go out, but I didn't want the fight to get stopped, and he complained. Because I seen him complain in his last championship fight, and he felt like he he was robbed of a chance to go out on his shield. So that's why I said that, you know, Brim, just to clarify. But, you know, I'm a big Tony Harrison fan, so, you know, that hurt me to see that last night. And as far as what's next for him, to me, he should just train, you know?
Yeah.
Like he shouldn't fight no more. Like that was a brutal knockout.
Hey, can I say something to Fish real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Ayo.
Was I the only one when Tony Harrison got knocked down in the ninth? Was that the 9th round or 8th round, whatever one it was, that the referee was laughing? Did y'all catch that?
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that.
It's like he was smiling, bro, when he was like, man, I don't know.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that, Ayo. You said it. Okay.
I got it too, because you know Ayo good for reaching, so I gotta see that just to make sure.
Brothers, how you guys doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing well.
Boxing nerd.
I'm chilling, bro. First, let me get like 2 seconds on the fight.
Yeah, go ahead, boxing nerd.
Yeesh. I thought he looked good for the first round. I was like, oh, he's gonna give Tszyu a boxing lesson. And I saw him get hit with that right hand in the second or third. I was like, oh, it's gonna be a long day. So I should have bet on the 9th round because he got stopped in the 9th or the 11th round before.
Yeah, man.
That would have been smart, but yeah. Tszyu, he's more calculated than I expected. Like all his shots were pinpoint. There was a reasoning behind it. Like it wasn't a wasted movement. Nothing. Like General Big Fish said, the ring was 3x3. Like it was super small, bro. Yo, but that was a great fight. A beating for crying out loud. The Charlo fight is gonna be more intriguing for sure. But yeah, these Brimley Awards, outstanding. So I have to watch myself from now on. I have to make sure I'm on my best behavior wherever I go, because Mr. Quint's always watching.
Yeah.
Who you voting for, boxing nerd? Cast your vote.
I have to go with East Money, man. East Money was crazy. Like I was trying to get a point across there. I have a good debate with the guy, and he was just like snapping at me. I was like, "Oh, chill out! Like, what's going on?"
What's his name? Who you was arguing with?
East
Money.
East Money.
Yeah.
East Money or Easy Money?
Nah, I think he called himself Easy Money. I don't know.
Easy Money.
Easy Money. Okay.
Yeah. What are the two? He's on the Fanboy channel. He goes over there usually.
Oh man. I really appreciate that, nerd. Y'all go ahead and rock, man. The panel open, y'all. Y'all go ahead.
Hey, that was an excellent breakdown, boxing nerd. When you said like that was a hell of a take. You just said how Tszyu was calculated with each shot that he took, bro. Like, bro, I'm telling you, like that's the total destruction of how you confuse an opponent. What Tszyu did last night, he had him off balance, and people saying, "Oh, Tony legs couldn't move, he couldn't do this." It was because of Tszyu. Tszyu did that. I'm not finna sit up here and say this dude was out of character, like whoop-de-whoop. No. Tony Harrison knew when Jermell Charlo got hurt, right? This was the biggest fight of his career. Like he could get an opportunity to fight for that belt again. So his training camp was the best training camp he ever had in his life. I'm telling you that. That was more Tszyu than not Tony Harrison. Tszyu was in total control of that fight from like round 2 to the rest of the fight, in my opinion.
I mean, he cut the ring off beautiful on his ass, man. He didn't get Tony a chance to do nothing, man.
Yeah, but I mean, Tony there was barely any ring for real.
Nah. It could have been a big ring, but the way he fought last night, man, and the way I mean, you know, let's call it a buck. Like I always say, the man did excellent work, man. It was more Tszyu than anything. You feel what I'm saying?
And another thing, Tony Harrison knew what size ring they was gonna be in. So with him knowing that, he should have been preparing himself for that. So I don't got no excuses, you know, on the size of the ring. My thing is, Tszyu showed us he is who he said he was last night.
Hey, I got a question for you, Ayo. Mosquito Spray, E3. What was up with Tony Harrison with his hand low like that all night? he was like inches away from getting knocked out from the first round on. Like,
That's
what
how he
is
always
his
fight, man. He
his
always
defense?
throw that. He always throw a jab from the hip, man. That's what he does all the time. You go back and watch his fights. He does that all the time.
Yeah.
Zuda didn't let him get away with it. He was
Yeah.
in his chest the whole night.
Tim Tszyu, I mean, shit.
Yeah,
I don't know what kind of chin that nigga got. I don't know what kind of chin he got, but he ate some good shots last night, man. Like that shit wasn't feeding him at all.
So
But
it
like
was
you stated,
a
Big
technical.
Fish.
So y'all saying to me, Mosquito Spray, that this E Thriller, I want you was the guy just that much better than Harrison?
Yeah, he was. He showed last night he was just that much better.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I was going with Tony Harrison, but I'm gonna keep it real, man. I'll be lying to you. I would be a hater if I didn't say that I was impressed last night.
Yeah, he showed he was.
And it makes me want to see that Charlo fight even more so now,
That's what I said
more
last
than
night.
before.
Yep.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
You know what, Quentin? A lot of people they didn't look at the fighters. They look at where's that Tony Harrison was black. He's an American, and a lot of folks didn't pay no attention to Tim Tszyu. You feel what I'm saying? That's what a lot of folks looked at. Hey man, that's what I even see them say that I'm going for. You know, hey, he's a black man. He's an American. I'm pulling for him. I'm pulling for that. But man, that's something that we have to get out of, and then look at the man who was fighting. Look at the
Mr.
skill
Goat.
set of the fighter. Yes, sir.
Man, you the one taking it there. Nobody ain't.
No. I ain't, no. I ain't say on the panel here.
No, because you
Go ahead.
said we got to get out of there. Ain't nobody looked at him like that. We looked.
I didn't say anybody on the panel here.
Let me say this.
Go
We
ahead.
looked at Tony Harrison as the better fighter going into the fight. He done been in there with much more high level competition. That's the reason why we was looking at Tony Harrison and favoring him to win this fight. It wasn't because he was fucking black.
Well, see, there's a whole. So I seen some other people that did say that they were looking at him because he was black. We were looking at him because he was American. But if you go back and look at Tony Harrison's last few fights, then you would have known this man here wasn't up to par, man. Tony Harris, the last fight he had, Tony Harris was not up to par, dog.
Yeah, but he won though. He got the job.
But he won, but regardless of what,
He
squeaked out that.
He dominated the Spanish man. What are you talking about?
So,
Man, he don't win a
Mr.
fight
Golden,
like that, man.
So what are you trying to tell us, Mr. Golden? Is you trying to tell us that Tony Harrison wasn't the same Tony Harrison?
Tony Harrison was not. He was not. I'm gonna keep it up. But to me, he wasn't. Like I said, when I first came on tonight, I'm looking at everything, his overall appearance and the way he come to the ring. He didn't make confidence to me.
So
he didn't like he was like
this, Mr. Golden, because I didn't get a chance to do a prediction show, so I didn't really get to make my pick. So I can't sit up here and say, "Yeah, I told you so." I didn't make a pick. So heading into last night's fight, you was picking Tim Tszyu prior to the fight.
I picked Tim Tszyu.
Okay.
I picked Tim Tszyu. I said it last night. I picked Tim Tszyu because I looked at, like I told you earlier, E, I looked at from his last fight and the way, and like I said, the way he came to the room to ring, he wasn't focused to me. He didn't like he had that killer instinct to me. Like he normally come to the ring, he coming in focused, he ready to fight or whatever. Like he came in and like, okay, this is it. It is what it is. I mean, I said it last night. You feel me? And that's where I went at. And to me, and I was proven right. You know, I also told him Tony has have a habit of losing focus in the fight.
Yep, I said that last night.
In a later round, he lose focus.
But I think that's that I understand what you're saying in the first part you said. I could agree with you some on the first part, but when you say losing focus, like we gotta look at Tony Harrison and all his losses. He lost to top fighters except one fighter who everybody thought he was going to be a top fighter, and Willie Nelson.
But
so I think that's a little overboard when people say he lose focus, because his losses are against, out of the 4 losses, they're against 3 legitimate fighters.
I can give you an example of him losing focus.
That Charlo fight, he lost focus in the Charlo fight, the second fight.
Hold on a second. I can give you an example of him losing focus, bro. Because the thing is, after he got knocked down in the second Charlo fight, right? Afterwards, he started controlling the distance. He was controlling the rounds, boxing very well. The round he got knocked out in, Charlo threw some big shots at him. He blocked a lot of them and then put his hands up in the air and looked at him like, come on, bring me some more. At that point, he lost his focus on what he was doing in the previous rounds, and it led to him getting knocked out.
Hey, Brim, I'm not finna lead it. I'm not finna go with you telling me he lost focus. You just said, hold up real quick. You just said the dude hit him with 3 good shots. Tony Harrison blocked him. And you said because he put his hands up in the air and said, yeah, come on, he lost focus.
He didn't say, yeah, come on. It's the facial expressions. It's the things that you do. The thing is, it was right before he got knocked out.
But who did
he started playing with the man? He started playing. He started playing with him.
He playing the wrong game in the middle of a championship
who did he fight though? Who did he lose to?
That's not the point, bro.
No. My thing is, he only lost in big fights, bro. He ain't lost, and he won a big fight too. So we can't say that he lose. Like he won. In my opinion, he beat Charlo that first fight. That's my opinion. I know a lot of people said Charlo won, and I can't argue with that because it was too close to call. But in my opinion, I edged Tony Harrison. But when you look at his losses, they're against top guys, and a guy who was supposed to be a top guy, Willie Nelson, but it never panned out. So I just think that's a little overboard.
No, it's not overboard. Just because a person's a top guy does not mean in the fight you lose focus at a certain point. It can affect you. Just because it's a top fighter does not excuse the fact that you have a lapse, a moment where you have a lapse.
But wait a minute, hold on, Brim. So you basically saying he lost focus because he started showboating?
Yeah.
Not just that, because he did do some showboating.
Okay.
What's your point? The moment right after he did the showboat, he stopped doing the things that allowed him to win a lot of those middle rounds, and then he got knocked out right afterwards. So he lost focus. And the thing is, when you're dealing with sports in general, it's a matter of this is a game of centimeters and inches.
But a Charlo fan could argue that maybe Charlo made adjustments.
Talk that shit, E3.
Maybe he couldn't do what he was doing to win the fight.
Like, I don't understand.
But see, the only reason why I can clearly show you otherwise, if you go back and watch that round, the round he got knocked out in, because he did it in the round he got knocked out in.
I'm gonna go back and watch it tonight.
Go back and watch it and look what he did before that happened, and then look and see what he did afterwards. And basically, what he did afterwards was what you saw against Tszyu last night. Again, I'm not saying Tony Harrison's not a great boxer, but the problem is there's times that he has lapse of judgment sometimes, and it can affect him. It happened to him in the Charlo fight. I'm not gonna say it happened last night because I just think he got his ass whooped last night.
He just got his ass whooped
last night. He didn't have it.
So hold up, Brim. That's why I'm telling you that you reaching with this.
I'm not reaching with it. Go back and watch the round.
Let me tell you why.
Watch the round.
I ain't finna watch no one round.
That's where it came from, though. You see the lapse.
Brim, hold up. Let me get my point across, then I'll let you go. This dude done had hundreds of rounds, bro. He lost to 3 top fighters and 1 fighter who was supposed to be a top fighter. Everybody else he beat. Herb was a unified champion. Jamal Charlo was a unified champion. Look, he lost, like E3 said. What we discrediting
it's not about discrediting. I gotta kill you the point you're making. Because the greatest fighters will expose your lapse of judgment. That's why he lost some of those fights. Because the best fighters can expose your lapses.
I know, but when you said he lost focus, that means you discrediting her for his victory, and you discrediting Charlo and
I'm not.
Willie Nelson. But
no, that's what you coming up with. I didn't because the thing is, just because what I'm saying could be true does not mean I'm discrediting another fighter. That's what you take it as. That means the other fighter took advantage of the other fighter who wasn't as focused at that moment in time and got his victory. But you decide to take it as me discrediting. That's your choice.
That's what you
No,
said. He
that's not what I
lost
said. Don't put you're putting words in my mouth. That's not what I said.
No,
I said he lost focus. In the midst of him losing focus, the other fighters took advantage because the best fighters can take advantage of other people's lapses. So if he or whatever flaws and deficiencies they have, so that's a part of his issue, and the best fighters can take advantage of that. That's not discrediting the way he fights.
Hey, Quinn, we're having a Brimley Award.
Hold on, y'all.
No, we're not.
You're being borderline Bremish right now.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because Ayo is basically trying to say that because a fighter has a lapse or a flaw in his own game.
You're still doing it, right? You're still doing it, my brother.
Y'all can have it. I'm done talking. I'm done talking.
Your voice is a little too to the pitch I love, bro.
Man,
at the end of the day,
I ain't gonna lie, this is a Brimley.
Continue, guys.
Let me get it for
at the end of the day.
Go ahead, Mosquito. Go ahead and make your point.
Yeah, I understand what Brendan's saying, and I agree with what he's saying. What he's trying to say, y'all, he's not discrediting Tszyu or Hurd or no one else. The only fight where Harrison did actually get beat up and wore down was the Hurd fight. When Prime Hurd was hard to deal with. But yeah, the Nelson fight, when he got caught when he backed straight up with his hands down. An example of a fighter that used to also lose focus and get clipped when he did so was, I remember Chad Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
He used to get clipped when he would lose focus during fights. Remember that Glenn Johnson fight where he got badly hurt about 3 or 4 times during that fight? He still ended up winning the fight though. You lose focus. Some fighters lose focus sometimes. You have to stay sharp the whole way through. And in the Charlo fight, yeah, he did showboat a little bit, but what at the point where he got caught, he traded hooks with Charlo. He put his right hand up, figuring, I'll just block this shot. Charlo hook got inside his right hand and hurt the hell out of him. It was the beginning of the end.
Now, Mosquito,
you know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Mosquito. Great.
Now, Mosquito, I could agree with what you're saying, bro. But like to me, that's discrediting the other fighter.
It could be. I understand both approaches, but that's not what Brendan's doing. Even in the lead up to the fight during the end, when they had that face-to-face sit down with Harrison and Tszyu, Harrison said it himself. He said, "My loss has not been because I've been took in the deep water. It's because I've lost focus."
No, that's making an excuse to me. I don't say, hold up, you telling me Charlo knocked him out, fam?
But actually said, why did he knock him out? Ayo? No. It ain't like Charlo boxing the shit out of him and dominating the fight. He let him a big shot because Harrison lost focus.
The best fighters expose other people's weaknesses.
But that's crazy because we see a lot of fighters get hurt. So they lose focus, or did the other fighter just hit them with the right punch?
We're talking about Tony Harrison. My point with Tony Harrison is he only lost 3 fights to 3 top fighters and 1 fighter who was supposed to be at the top, but it didn't pan out. Everybody else he beat. Like, that's making the excuse. No, you know what that means, Ayo?
Let me finish, bro. That's making an excuse saying he lost focus. In my opinion, just say them other fighters is better because that's taking away from Charlo. That's taking away from her.
Ayo. Another example, like for instance, it ain't the fact that he got beat because Harrison don't take shots well. But fighters lose focus and get clipped.
Turn your cam on.
Turn your cam on. Like for instance, remember when Ali got clipped by Henry Cooper with the left hook because he lost focus, man. He got up, did his job, and won the fight. But fighters, it happens to the best of them. Sometimes you don't stay sharp throughout the whole fight, and some fighters can make you pay. Do you remember that Chad Dawson Glenn Johnson fight? When you watched, I know you probably watched that fight that night.
I do, but Mosquito. That you talking about he lost focus like Henry Cooper.
Another example that I'm sure you'll know about: Errol Spence versus Emmanuel Larte. When Spence got clipped because he lost focus, he you know what I'm saying? He got clipped because he lost focus. Crawford getting clipped by Campbell because he lost focus.
It takes credit away from the other fighter. The difference is, hold up, Ayo, you just said something. I wanted to reply what you're saying. The one thing that I want you to understand is that you're talking about these are just top fighters. There's a reason why they beat him though, because the top fighters can expose those weaknesses that you have and take advantage of it to get the victory.
Exactly.
Okay,
So
so
how is that taking
let me
credit
say
away
this.
from these fighters when
No,
they're the
no, no, no,
ones that
no,
were
no.
able to take advantage of his weakness?
No. Because this the thing right here, and what I'm saying and how I'm breaking it down. See,
No.
y'all making it saying he lost focus.
Now here we go with
Let
making
me
it feel
finish,
that's how
bro.
you
Let him make
feel.
his point
This
real.
gonna be real quick.
Damn.
This gonna be real quick. Y'all making it to where y'all saying he lost focus. To me, that's discrediting. Why can't we say that Harrison just, when it comes to the big time fighters, he just can't beat the big time fighters? 9 times out of 10, Harrison is gonna lose to the big time fighters. Why can't we just say that instead of saying he lost focus? Because that's
Ayo,
discrediting a Jamal Charlo, a Jared Hurd, or whoever else done beat him. That's discrediting them to me.
No, it's not.
Let's just say at the big
ayo.
moment
We have
when
evidence.
he get the top fights, he just
We have
he don't
evidence.
pull through. He 1-4,
No, we
1-5.
have
Okay,
evidence.
ayo. At the
Kind of like
time,
Adrian Broner,
ayo.
Ayo. Kind of like
Yeah,
AB.
No,
let
we
me ask you this,
have
ayo.
Hold on,
evidence.
what'd you say,
At the
E3?
time,
I said kind of like AB to add on to your point, kind of like a guy like AB who
Yep,
always make an excuse when he get his ass kicked, saying
yep,
that, oh, I beat myself or I ain't never lost because I beat myself. I
yep.
see where
well,
you at.
let me ask the panel this, the whole panel. I'll just answer one at a time. At the time when Charlo stopped Harrison, who'd y'all have up on the cards?
I had Tony.
It was
Okay.
a close fight. Both of the fights was close. So, but like, look, see, Mosquito, you discredited
See what I'm saying?
Mosquito.
Not discrediting.
Charlo still caught him with that punch, Mosquito.
He caught him with that
But
punch
why? But
because he's a
why? The
good
question
enough
is why?
fighter to
Ayo,
take
why did he
advantage
catch it?
of Tony
Why did
Harrison's
he? Why
Mosquito,
did he
because
land that punch?
he is when you at that, he is a good fighter. That's why he caught him with that punch. It
Right,
ain't because
right.
Tony Harrison was
What?
looking in the crowd.
Watching that, you got to go back and watch that one sequence. What did Harrison do wrong in that moment?
I was
In
just about
order
to
to
ask
allow
y'all, take me
for Charlo
back
to
to that
land that punch?
sequence. Take me
Because
back to that sequence. Break it down,
they
Mosquito.
traded left hooks. You know, the boxing 1-on-1, you get your right hand up. They call it holding the phone. Harrison, figured that my right glove's up. I'm going to block this now. I'm going to land my hook. Charlo's left hook got inside of Harrison's glove and landed on his chin. And we know Harrison has a glass chin.
Hey, Mosquito, I agree with everything you just said right there. But Mosquito, this is boxing. You're not going to be prepared. You may think that you need to do that, but you do something else different, bro, because you may be thinking about another punch that somebody is going to throw. That's just like Harrison last night. He wouldn't let that right hand go because that left hook was coming behind that right hand as soon as he throw it. So what you just stated, I agree with 100%, but that's not losing focus.
Yes, it is. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why, bro. It's because you got to look at what led up to that moment. Now, you remember E3 we was talking earlier. There were moments when Harrison was walking Charlo down in that fight.
Yeah, he
so
was.
You can look now. My version of losing focus in that instance is you forget that you're walking down a murderous puncher and you want to trade hooks with him. You shouldn't have do that in the first place, especially when your chin is suspect.
Thank you.
That's losing focus.
Mosquito, you do understand that in a fight, you're going to have to fight sometimes. You're going to have to sit down and fight. And like sometimes it's going to go your way and sometimes it's not going to go your way. But you're going to have to sit down and fight. And that's the reason why Tony Harrison lost that fight last night, because he let Tszyu dictate the whole fight. It should have been moments in that fight where he should have sat down and fought Tszyu and got some respect. But he didn't do that. So
he
in
would have been
moments of
knocked
the
out
fight,
sooner.
Mosquito, you're going to have to sit down and fight.
Yeah, but you don't. But the reason most people had Harrison up in that second fight with Charlo is because Harrison was a superior boxer in that ring. When he fought from distance, at times he was dominating Charlo in that second fight. But when he let Charlo land a shot or two, that's when Charlo would get an edge. And then at the end, when we caught him with that hook, but he chose to trade on the inside. You don't do that, man. Slide out of there and get back on the stick. Get back to boxing. You
gotta go back and watch that round before you say anything else. Because if you watch the actual round he got knocked out, you will understand exactly what we're saying. It's not taken away from Charlo. It's actually giving Charlo credit because he's a great enough fighter to be taking advantage of somebody else's deficiencies. Because those other fighters Harrison beat, he probably did it against them, but they wasn't good enough to take advantage of it.
No, I'm not gonna let that fly.
Well, I don't care. I'll let you be in your delusion land.
Listen. I'm not gonna let that fly because Harrison has won a championship belt. I can
What the
understand.
hell did that
Oh,
happen to
let
the
me
fight
finish,
against Turner?
bro. God damn, Brimley, hold up. I can
Damn.
understand. Now, I can understand if this guy has never been a champion. Then y'all point to mean something that he lose focus in big fights. But he done been a champion before. So y'all point is meaningless to me. Y'all discrediting the other fighters, like Thriller said earlier, for making adjustments.
Listen, I just went back. I just went back and looked at that last round, right? The Tony Harris and Charlo fight too. Right. In the middle of that fight, that man Charlo hit him. That man took his arm through his arm, red up in the air, like what the fuck? You know, that's losing focus right there. You go back and look at that left round. That man hit him, and he just threw his arms up in the ring and stopped in the middle of the ring and looking like what? Come on, man, you can't do that shit in no fight, dog. I don't give a damn who you fighting. Right there, he lost focus in the fight right there. That's why I just went and looked at that shit. Pull it up and looked at it.
So again, I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked Brimley. So you're saying that Tony Harrison lost focus in that fight because he started celebrating and showboating?
No, he didn't start. At that point, he wasn't celebrating. You feel what I'm saying?
He said he raised his hands up in the air.
No. He threw his arm scratch out in the middle of the fight and just stood up in the middle of the ring posing.
He did that, but he did that because he was showing them, man, that shit you just didn't hurt me. That's
because most fighters do that.
Mr. He still do that, but not like. But to me, after that,
he didn't fight the same. He fought differently. He tried to fight fire with fire right after that. He paid for it.
Let me make this quick point. Let me ask y'all a question. Now we've seen Terrence Crawford. I'm gonna use him as an example. Whenever he get hit with a big shot, what does he do?
According to Brimley,
stick his tongue out, right?
According to Brimley, that's losing focus.
Okay, is that losing focus?
No, listen, guys. It's not about him just doing that. It's about what he did after. Listen, after he did that, he changed the way he fought.
God damn it! You
to me,
go ahead.
To me, when Bud do that shit, he gonna kill the instinct.
Hold up, Mr. Golden. So you just said that. So what's the fucking difference between Bud and Tony Harrison, bro?
Because the difference to me, when you tag Bud gonna get your ass.
No,
bro. Bud gonna fuck your ass up.
Hey, y'all.
Harrison changed the way he fought.
Hold on.
Mr. Golden, you picking and choosing.
I'm not picking and choosing. I'm keeping it real.
Man, they slow, bro.
Tony Harrison do have. Yeah, what's up?
Hold on, y'all.
Go ahead, Mosquito. Go ahead.
What exactly what me and Brimley are saying is, because I believe he's saying the exact same thing I'm saying is, Harrison lost focus in the sense that he got a false sense of security because he was able to walk Charlo down and get the better of the exchanges at time. But you lose focus by forgetting that you end up with a murderous puncher who can knock you out at any point in the fight. That's like Paulo Malignaggi trading left hooks with Miguel Cotto. Harrison is a superior boxer. He had no freaking business trading left hooks under no circumstances with Jermell Charlo at no point in the fight. Charlo is dangerous from the first bell to the last one. We all know that. Harrison has a suspect chin, but he is a beautiful and brilliant boxer. That's his wheelhouse. Not on the inside trading hooks with Jermell Charlo.
Also,
and because
Mosquito,
he's able to walk Charlo down at points.
No, hold on. Mosquito, to add on to what you just said, Mosquito, is that if you look at that round, what he was doing right before that moment, and then what he did right after were polar opposites. He fought differently. He got too cocky. He tried to trade with a person he shouldn't be trading with, and the things that was working for him to get him in that position to where even though he got knocked down early in the fight, he still had a lead on many people's scorecards. He after that he lost where he was supposed to be doing what he was doing that was effective, and he went to trade shots, and the great fighter that Charlo was took advantage of that and put his ass out. I don't know what's so hard to understand about that. I guess the little yellow bus will come pick us up at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, Mosquito, listen, Mosquito. Now, when you say all that, you 100% correct again. I can't argue with the point you're making. I ain't even trying to debate against that. But what I'm gonna say is, again, it comes a point in a fight where you're going to have to sit down and fight. Sometimes it's going to go your way. Sometimes it ain't. But it just come a point. Like last night, Tony Harrison was hesitant to do that. That's the reason why Tszyu was in control the whole fights. But most points, when you're fighting elite fighters in a fight, it's going to come a point where you're going to have to sit down and fight. Don't tell me, oh, you ain't supposed to do that. Of course, sometimes you ain't supposed to do it, but it's a fight. And in a fight, sometimes you're going to have to sit down, and that's what you're going to do.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Because last night I was yelling at Harrison. I was saying he's going to have to land something to get Zoo's respect at some point, and he never did. But at the point in the Charlo fight, Harrison did not have to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to do that at that point. He was up on all the cards. He could have slid out of there and got back on his jab. Got to fight back in the
what was working for him at that moment.
Yeah. Instead, I'm gonna sit down and trade hooks with this murderous puncher, and I'm gonna land mine.
But he even sat down in the first fight too. Mosquito Spray. He sat down in the first fight too. If y'all watch that first fight over again, he sat down in the first fight. It just went his way.
And he got hurt. And he got hurt at times left to fight too. That was also losing focus. But luckily for him, it didn't cost him the fight that time. But he lost focus in that fight at times. He got hurt.
But Mosquito,
thank you, Mosquito.
To be a champion, you have to take chances. And in that first fight, he sat down a lot because he knew to beat Jermell Charlo, everybody know I'm the better boxer. But it's going to come a time in this fight where I'm going to have to sit down and punch with this motherfucker to let him know, if you do that, I'm going to give it to your ass right back. So to me, I'm sorry, it's not losing focus, right? Because losing focus, you would have never became a champion.
That's not true. That makes no sense. How can you say that? You're dealing with humans, not fucking robots. You have to listen. Oh my God, you sound mad fucking casual. For somebody to be on the ground hitting the pavement, you sound mad fucking casual right now, bro. You have to, yes, you have to fight and take chances, but you have strategies for a reason. There's certain techniques that you have for a reason. And when you abandon them, that means you're losing focus on your game plan. He lost focus on his game plan. The thing is, you can become a champion with these deficiencies, but the best of the best can take advantage of your deficiencies. Charlo took advantage of his deficiency. Why? Because in the middle of in that fight, in that 11th round, he made a decision to do something, and it was a loss of focus because once he did it, he paid the price. Because if you look at that round, what he was doing at the beginning of the round, and then after the show, but no, because that's what decided to fight, bro. Come on, stop being a casual, Ayo. You too seasoned to be sounding this casual.
A nigga named Brim. Okay, all right. So look, this is the thing right here. I'm gonna break it down like this, because I ain't even gonna get in the name calling with you, Brim, because you really don't want to take it there.
You're doing it by yourself.
So E3.
Yeah, I'm listening.
So look, E3 Big Fish. Y'all play on basketball teams. Y'all understand. Sometimes you supposed to do this, but it ain't gonna go like that, right? Right or wrong?
Right, like running a set offense, but sometimes that shit don't work. So you
it ain't gonna go like that. And then for niggas like Brim to try to call me a casual, nigga, use the fucking casual. Because if you put a fucking game plan together and it's gonna go 100% perfecto, the fucking way you put it together, that's the ignorant shit that you could fucking say, bro. It's just dumb.
No, what you're saying is dumb. Because somebody has a lapse of judgment, they can't be a world champion. You said that somebody has a lapse of judgment can't be a world champion. That's some dumb shit to say. And then to say, oh, you're taking credit away from the guys who took advantage of the person who made the error. No. What you're doing is not using your fucking pea-sized fucking brain. You sound fucking dumb, Ayo. I can't believe you actually be that stupid to actually not realize and not understand what the fuck you watching. You cover boxing. Act like you fucking know what the hell you talking about, bro. Come on, man.
We got a new nomination.
Come on, you watching. Oh my God. This shit is ridiculous.
You know what's crazy? That just sounds ignorant. For a nigga like you,
that's ignorant, bro. You don't know what the fuck you be talking about. You know what you TMZ like a motherfucker. Good, great.
Now that sounds ignorant what you saying, because like I said, a game plan is not gonna go as sufficient as you think that game plan.
But it was working for Tony Harrison.
Shut the fuck up, bro. Let me finish what I'm saying, bro.
Fuck you, nigga. Don't tell me what the fuck to do. How about that, nigga?
Bro, let me finish what I'm saying.
Fuck what you saying.
Game plan is not going to go
And you having a Mr.
the
Warren
exact
moment.
way.
I'm saying this
The
nigga
first, the entire fight or anything you do. They're just like even playing, like I said, a basketball team, a football team. You may have that game plan to go this way, but shit ain't gonna go that way because guess what? Your opposition is gonna find a way to counter that and to be able to crash the play or make you do something that's unprecedented that you don't supposed to do. So like I say, when people say fighters lose focus, I'm not up here saying that fighters don't lose focus, but when you've been a championship fighter, like and Tony Harrison was, and you only lost to big names and one name who was supposed to be big but then paying out. I can't say that's losing focus when you done beat everybody else, because in my opinion, that's discrediting the other guys who beat you. And the other guys who beat him, their resumes are impeccable. So how could you lose focus against a guy like Hurd or a guy like Jermell Charlo, who is the undisputed king, if with their resumes like the way they are? So my thing is Harrison just lost to better competition, right? He became champion, but in big fights, he only won one, and the rest of them he lost. To me, that's not losing focus when you beat everybody else. That's just my opinion.
Hey, man, let me bring on D, man. You're live on the chat with the Woodpack. Talk to me, fam. What's popping?
What's good? What's good? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, man. You sound crispy. What's popping, fam?
Yeah, ain't shit. Appreciate the Brimley Award, man. You know what I mean? First and foremost, I like to thank God for bringing me here and let me share this panel with you guys. I got to give my little speech. But nah, man, y'all having a hell of a debate with this Tony Harrison shit. You know what I mean? Now, I'ma just say this. I had Tszyu winning the fight beforehand, because I just think what Tony said in them interviews is that, man, he got me off the couch. Well, that was a red flag to me. But nonetheless, though, man, listen, Harrison is a superior boxer. You don't get stamped with the name Superbad by one of the great trainers, the late great trainer, rest in peace to Emmanuel Stewart, for nothing,
God
bro.
bless.
So I'm gonna just go ahead and say that. But let's be clear. All the things y'all was talking about, him losing focus. I hear Io say we discrediting the other guys with that, but listen, it's not discrediting them, it's discrediting these other guys. The problem with Tony Harrison has always been the problem with Amir Khan, the problem with Zab Judah. The nigga has no chin. That is the biggest issue. He ain't that fighter to sit in that pocket to take one to give off three. That's not his game, because his chin ain't gonna hold up. Now,
So D
granted,
Young, is that losing focus or his chin ain't that good?
Well, listen, it's both, Io, because the nigga do lose focus. I'm not gonna sit here and say he don't. The nigga lose focus. If you look at the Willie Nelson fight, he lost fucking focus because he got lackadaisical because he was boxing Willie Nelson. The thing of it is, he pulled back and Willie Nelson just knocked his ass out. That was it. The Hurd fight, I can't say he lose focus. I think Hurd just overwhelmed him because Hurd is a fucking weight bully. That's just me. And then with Charlo in the second one, he did lose focus, man. He started playing around. When you got this guy, you walking this guy down. Because, see, the thing of it is, he put the blueprint out on Jermell on how you beat Jermell. Walk him down. Jermell ain't the best inside fighter. We know that. So he had to walk him down. But the problem is that you can't hook with a fucking hooker. Jermell Charlo is one of the best counterpunchers in the game, not named Bud Crawford.
Hold up. You said he put a bluepunt on how to beat
pull the blueprint
Jermell.
out. Yeah, he did. He did pull the blueprint out.
Hold up. Who else done beat Jermell with this blueprint he put out?
Brian Castano.
Bro.
Who?
Castano, arguably, Castano could have won that fight.
I want to hear no arguably.
Arguably, he could have won that fight.
You know he won that first fight.
No, who else done beat him with this blueprint that Tony Harrison done put up? That's all I'm asking.
Tony Harrison is the only one. But look, though, but check this out, though. The problem is we saw it before. Martirosyan gave him that same style. He just edged it out, bro. He had a lot of close fights with the nigga name with Jackson. Jackson had the nigga beat until he stopped him, bro. Like, the thing of it is that you have to push Charlo back.
You talking about Charlo? Yeah, Jackson had Charlo beat. I agree with that. He was winning that fight.
Yeah, until he knocked until he knocked him out, right?
Yeah, no, but so look, that just shows the grit in Charlo, right?
No, but that's not what I'm saying. Yo, listen, we know that nigga a dog. I'm just telling you what Harrison did. What Harrison did, nobody else could do. Because Castanos did the same thing, pushed him back. Is that Charlo just made the adjustments against that guy? That just makes Charlo a special fighter. That's all I'm saying is this. But Harrison was the only one who was able to use that style and beat him. See, when the thing is with Jamel is mental. When he don't listen to Derek, you could beat the nigga because he wants to load up and he wants to get you out of there, bro. But I think we just fell in love with Tony Harrison beating Charlo and the last fight he had against Garcia. But we didn't look at the Brian Perella fight when Brian Perella was putting that pressure on him and it made it into a draw. You feel me? Perella didn't do the
Bro,
necessary.
no, stop, D Young. It ain't no we fell in love with Tony Harrison because he
Man,
beat
I'm
Charlo.
bruh.
No, D Young,
I'm not saying nobody on this panel. I didn't heard a lot of other niggas talk about it. Like y'all, it ain't just
but
y'all,
didn't
bro.
he?
I heard a
No,
lot of
no, no. I ain't talking about nobody on the panel. I'm just talking about in general. It ain't that we fell in love with him because he beat Charlo. He earned that shit to get to where he was.
He did. But
So,
I'm just telling you guys.
So
When you a fighter who you listen, when you a fighter, we know what you are, bro. We know coming into these fights that this nigga ain't got the best chin, bro. We know
yeah,
that.
hey, but listen, fam. In fights, bro, you game plan ain't gonna always go the way you want it to go, D Young. Yeah. He ain't look, D
Exactly.
Young, I'm not arguing with you. I agree with you. You ain't supposed to hook with a hooker, especially when the guy is more stronger and has more knockout power with you. I'm agreeing with y'all. See, like Brim, he want it to be like I'm
I think
arguing with him, right? I'm agreeing with what y'all saying. But the thing is, in the moments of a fight, fam, like sometimes you don't want to do that, but it's gonna happen, fam. That's in anything we do. You ain't gonna always make the right play. So my thing is,
Right.
people are putting too much on Harrison when this dude don't want every fight except 3 or 4. And the 3 or 4 he fought against was all top contenders and somebody who was supposed to be a top contender in boxing. So I'm just saying that's reaching to me, saying he lost focus, man. That's reaching. Because like E3 said, in every fight you could look at a different fighter doing something. That ain't losing focus. They just recognize, oh, I got hit with a good shot. Terrence Crawford looking at his tongue. And any other fighter who done did something in the ring. So I wouldn't say it's losing focus. I really do truly believe that's discrediting the other guys who beat him, saying he lost focus. And then when you have Brim saying 1 round, like boxing is 12 rounds. You're not going to win every round, bro. So you telling me because a fighter lose, if it's 6 rounds and he lose 3 and the other guy wins, he supposed to win every round?
Well, no, we know that, Ayo. We know this game is about making adjustments, bro. I'm just saying it's like, I'm not taking nothing away from Jared Hurd, Charlo, or Willie Nelson, bro. But also, I just gotta put in perspective that when I saw that nigga raise his hands against Charlo, like, come on, like this shit ain't hurting me. I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Get on the nigga, bro. Why is you raising your hands up? Why the fuck is you doing the Tootsie Roll in the middle of the ring when the nigga hit you with a body shot, bro? Like that's losing focus, Io. That's
Not,
losing focus.
no, bro. Look. See, in boxing, fam, like they do all their work, and I'm being honest with you. I'm just being honest. In boxing, fighters have 8 weeks or however they long to prepare for a fight behind the scene, right? So when they come to fight night, they've been putting in all their work. They finally on their grand stage. It's always about a fighter is gonna always show showmanship. Some fighters ain't, but a lot of fighters do because at that particular moment, that however long, 36 minutes, is all they got, for another year. So I don't I don't believe about losing focus, fam. I just believe it's adjustments that get made, fam, because if that's the case, we're gonna say every fighter lose focus who lose a round.
Hey,
No, the
so
other
look,
fighter just beat you in that round.
oh, okay, Ayo, let me ask you this question. So, okay, you remember when Plant fought Canelo? When he asked Canelo that question about, do you think I'm a good boxer? Do you call that losing focus?
No, I wouldn't call that losing focus. You got to understand when you're going up against a guy like Canelo or E Thriller, one of his favorite fighters, not my favorite fighter, but one of E Thriller favorite fighters in Floyd Mayweather, right? But when you go up against guys like that who are bigger than earth and they actually will have the legitimate work, sometimes a motherfucker gonna show up and they're gonna be able to handle that moment, and other times you're gonna shrink in that moment. And I ain't discrediting nobody. It's just different. It's just boxing, bro. Like it just happened. It happened like that. Like Tony Harrison didn't lose no fucking focus. He just went against a guy who was better than him.
I'm sorry, Ayo. We gonna agree to disagree on that.
Yeah,
That man
I
lost
see.
focus,
I can
he
see
lost
points.
focus, bro.
I see points from both sides, bro. I can see the
Yeah.
points that Ayo making, but I can also see the points that Mosquito Spray, Brimley, Mr. Golden, and you too, D. Like I see all y'all points, bro.
Yeah.
It's a,
But
it's a
It's
matter of taste.
It's ways to
I
counter both
understand.
points.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. When you say yes, it's come time you had to sit down and fight. A perfect example of that was like Leonard versus Hagler. It was time where he had to sit down and fight, but then he got back to boxing. He didn't lose focus. It would have cost him had he just stayed in there too long with Hagler. You know what I'm saying? Another example of a fighter losing focus: Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell getting caught with that left hook and dropped. You know what I'm saying?
See,
You can't.
That's not a good example, Mosquito
How's
Spray.
that,
But
how's that not a good
let me
example?
tell you why Mosquito Spray, because Luke Campbell was a gold medalist, fam. Like
Yeah, and he
so
exploited the mistake.
no, so I wouldn't think being a gold medalist, a guy you fighting lose focus. I think that gold medalist knew what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah, just like Jamel Charlo knew the fuck he was doing when Tony Harrison tried to
So
throw a
so
hook to
so
him.
so
Trey Hooks
is
knew.
so is we gonna discredit Costa
We're not
Zoo?
lo-
No,
we're
no, no,
not
no,
we're
no. Let
not
me give you an
discrediting these
example
guys.
now. Is we gonna discredit Costa Zoo win versus Zab Judah and say Zab Judah
I'm
lost focus?
He did,
that's
but we
not
can't discredit Costa.
that's not discrediting Costa because you're saying that because of Costa's greatness, he was able to quickly exploit the mistakes that Judah made.
But
That's
every
giving
fight,
credit to him and at the same time acknowledging the fact of why he was able to do it.
yeah,
Holes open
fighters.
because fighters make mistakes. That's how holes open in the first place,
Okay,
Ayo.
see, now there you go. Now that's the word. They make a
A
mistake.
mistake. And
It's not
why is the
losing.
mistake made?
No, it's not losing focus. Fighters make mistakes inside that square circle. That's not losing focus. It's just if you think a jab is coming and you try to block that jab, but that other great fighter across the ring throw a right hook, that's just making a mistake. I don't believe that's losing focus.
I could give you a perfect example. Earl Spence, when he dropped his fucking mouthpiece and Ugas punched him, what was that? Losing focus or was that a mistake?
That was a mistake because you don't.
Come
That nigga lost
on,
focus
yo.
on that
Damn,
shit.
you
Come
asked me.
on,
You asked me
yo.
the question.
That
Come
nigga
Hold
on,
up,
had a
yo,
brain
hold
man.
fart,
up. You
Ayo.
asked me
Ain't
the
no
question.
defending
Can
that
I
one, bro.
answer it?
Go ahead,
No,
Ayo, but go
that
ahead.
Come
no,
on,
no, that
Ayo,
was a
bro.
no, that was a
That nigga
mistake.
lost so focus so
No, let me
bad,
answer
bro.
your question,
What did he
Dion.
start thinking about?
Go ahead.
He left something in the microwave or something? Is that what he was thinking about when his
Shit,
mouthpiece
look
I
like
was
he was
don't
gone?
looking
know.
for his
Bitch,
blunt or something, bro.
bitch, we all want to know
E
that.
Thriller,
But go ahead,
E
Ayo.
Thriller,
Go ahead,
E
Ayo.
Thriller.
He lost
No,
focus on that one,
E
bro. Go
Thriller.
ahead.
You know that was a mistake because you know. Okay, you know
Two
you
things can
don't
be
look
true, Ayo. It
now
was
because you
a
know
mistake
that
and he
if
lost
your
focus.
mouth no, but you know if your mouthpiece fall out, you keep fighting until the referee stop it. But he made a mistake and looked to the right. I ain't gonna say it's losing focus because that ain't never happened to him before. Man, I just can't
It
say
happened
if
to
I.
him in the Danny Garcia fight.
But he
Yeah.
won the fight. Like he won the fight
No,
though.
but we not saying that he lost because obviously he won all his fights, but we just saying that it's done happened a couple of times. We done seen Earl in fucking La La Land.
But I don't think that's called losing focus. I'm talking about because we're talking about Tony Harrison, right?
Yeah,
Tony
go ahead.
Harrison has not lost to nobody but top fighters and somebody who was supposed to be a top fighter. I would just say Tony Harrison made mistakes because, like you stated earlier about Terrence Crawford, that's why I picked Earl Spence to win that fight, because I think Earl Spence is more defensively responsible than Terrence Crawford. It ain't that Terrence Crawford lose focus. I'm never going to say Terrence Crawford lose focus. Terrence Crawford just make the mistake and don't be defensively responsible trying to get back and set up his punches. He want to get his lick back. That ain't losing focus. That's just a dude who want to get his lick back, and he make the mistake of doing that. Because he do that all the time when somebody catch him with a good shot. He make that mistake instead of being defensively responsible to set his shots up. Terrence Crawford go in for the kill. That's a mistake.
Well,
that's a habit.
I mean, I'm gonna say this. I don't say he go in for the kill. The nigga take one to get 3 off. Just like Spence. He take one to get 3 off.
Or just like Tank is another fighter that do that too.
Tank another one. Good point.
But the thing is,
take one to
Tank
get
will
3
take
off. Go
3
ahead,
to
Io.
get
Go ahead.
1 off though.
But the thing is, we don't see we don't see Tank get hurt like we see Terrence Crawford get hurt multiple times.
It's boxing, Io.
I know.
We saw
and he
Spence,
make that.
I know that. I know. Multiple times too.
No, I ain't saying that, but he make that mistake instead of being defensively responsible to come back in the correct way. That ain't him losing focus. That's just in him. That's a habit he got. Boxers got different habits, and that's just a habit to me with Terrence Crawford. Like, because losing focus would mean Terrence Crawford lost the fights. Terrence Crawford knocked motherfuckers out.
But yeah, I mean, but like what we could say with the Gamboa shit, when he switched in between the punches, I feel like he lost focus on that shit. You know, like it's just a give or take on
how
that.
could Terrence Crawford lose focus because he switched in between the punches when he do that shit all the goddamn time?
Io, what I'm saying is he switched. Soon as he landed a jab, he switched and Gamboa caught him, bro.
And you know why Gamboa caught him? Because Gamboa was fucking undefeated. He was a 2-time division champion, and he was a fucking gold medalist.
That's
not what I'm saying.
The gold medalist did it because Terrence Crawford did it while still in punching range. The switcher need to switch when he's out.
I know he do that all the time, though. Watch Terrence Crawford fights. He do that all the time.
Hey, but look though, he do it all the time. But has he ever got caught in it like he got caught with Gamboa doing that?
Everybody jump up and click your feet together like Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz and said ain't no place like home. Because out of 39 fights, Crawford got rocked the one time by Gamboa. Come on, man, stop that.
I'm saying in between the switch, Io. Did you see that happen again?
Bro, he do it all the time, bro.
But
Gamboa
did you? No, that's
I
what
hope he
I'm
do it.
asking.
And him and Spence fight. No.
If he do it, didn't get caught. That's on him. He lost focus. But what I'm saying is that Io say he do it every fight. But what I'm saying is he got caught that one fight with it. He ain't get caught doing it again. That's all I'm saying.
Bro, yes he did. Kavaliauskas dropped his ass and didn't even call it.
Bro, he didn't switch with Kavaliauskas and didn't.
They was in the pocket.
Be real. Then if you really want to be real, hold on. Hold on. One thing. If you really want to be real, he saw the punch and rolled it, bro.
No. What I'm saying is, fam, that's not Crawford. I don't know. I mean, if y'all feel like it's losing focus, I'm not. I disagree. I'm gonna just say the other fighters, they know how to do stuff to make fighters make mistakes. Like Tszyu last night, how he capitalized off Jamil Charlo. Go look at the first round. His feints. He feinted him all the way to the back of the ring without even throwing a fucking punch.
He positioned him, put him where he wanted him at.
Yeah.
Without even throwing a motherfucking punch. So you telling me Harrison made a mistake because he was fainting? No, Tim Tszyu
Nah,
just put himself
nah,
in position. And look,
nah.
somebody else mentioned earlier talking about he didn't look that good against Gausset. He beat Gausset still. He looked great against Gausset. Gausset had that moment in the first round.
Yeah.
Where he knocked him down, fam.
And that's
where Tim Tszyu lost focus. Tim Tszyu lost focus and rushed in and rocked to a right hand. That's Tim Tszyu lost focus at that moment.
It ain't losing focus, fam. Look, Gausset before
boxer's gonna get hit. Y'all can't act like a boxer ain't gonna never get caught.
Before Gausset fought,
that's what we saying.
Before Tszyu fought Gausset, fought Tony Harrison. Gausset was the most experienced fighter he fought, bro. So of course it was gonna be different. Every time you step up in competition, it's gonna be different. It ain't making it ain't losing focus.
It's raising your levels of competition. It's levels.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I could agree with you, Io. Like with the Gausset fight, that really got him prepared for this fight. He went against a slick boxer. You know, now he got dropped, but after that, he commenced to putting a beating on the nigga for 11 rounds.
Yeah, I remember that fight.
So he learned a lot from that fight, and he improved. I just saw the improvement with the Harrison fight, regardless of anything. I ain't taking nothing away.
But see, the thing is, most people will say Tony Harrison looked bad last night. He didn't look bad. Tony Harrison was in great position.
Tim Tszyu made him look bad.
Yeah, Tim Tszyu made him look bad, but Harrison was in great position the whole night. But see, Tony Harrison didn't want to let that right hand go, because as soon as he let that right hand go, that left come right behind it.
Yeah,
as you seen him throwing his jab. So I don't know, y'all. Like I said, I agree with everything y'all saying, except saying that they lose focus. I don't think a fighter who ain't never been a champion or a guy who ain't never made it to that moment, like Jeff Lacey. Let's take him an example. You know, he lose focus because that's what everybody was saying. Earl Spence was gonna be the next Jeff Lacey, this sawed-off Olympian who came out, who didn't pan out to be what he was gonna be. That's a guy who lost focus, because when Jeff Lacey was coming out to fight everybody, y'all talking about motherfuckers talking about Earl Spence, the way they was talking about fucking Jeff Lacey when that motherfucker came out, bro, the press around that nigga was crazy.
Facts. I remember Jeff Lacey. I was a young nigga around that time. I remember left hook Lacey. Yes, sir. Yeah.
See, that's a guy who lost focus because that guy was supposed to be more than what he did. And he didn't ever pan out to be. Now, when you don't pan out to be what everybody crown you to be, like just think if LeBron, and I ain't trying to turn this to basketball, just think if LeBron James, the best high school basketball player ever to come out of high school, would have never won a fucking championship. That's a guy who they could say lost focus, never was able to whoop-de-whoop do this, never was able to whoop-de-whoop do that. Think about even Kobe Bryant after Shaq left. If Kobe wouldn't have got them 2 rings, think about how they would have fucking defined Kobe Bryant's career. Oh, you can only win it with Shaq. You couldn't do it by yourself. So that's all I'm saying. Hello?
Yeah, we still here, man. We ain't saying they lose focus over the course of his career. We talking about it in a boxing match at a certain moment. You have to be sharp all the way through, and then the level of competition as you move up the ladder, those better guys are going to be able to expose the kinks in your armor. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it what worked against Joe Blow ain't gonna work against Tim Tszyu or Jamel Charlo or Willie Nelson or Jared Hurd. You know what I'm saying? Now Jared Hurd, I didn't say Jared Hurd just beat him up and wore him down like he was doing everybody else in fought. You know what I'm saying? But the Charlo fight, Harrison was up on them cards.
But think about Jared Hurd, Mosquito. Jared Hurd used to always get beat up in this fight.
He would come out. He was a slow starter. He kind of like Joe Frazier. Once he gets smoking, as the rounds went on, he would get stronger as the rounds went on, and because he's so big, he was hard to deal with, man. And then he would come with hard shots to himself. You know what I'm saying? And a high work rate. So he was wearing guys out, like the Lara fight when he caught him. Because that was a close fight. He overwhelmed him and landed that hook in the last round. To win on the card or whatever.
When I say, when I think about when a guy lose focus and lose a fight, I think about Adrian Broner when he tried to hump on Maidana when he thought that that's losing focus.
Yeah,
but that's losing focus. Am I lying? Is that not losing focus or what?
Yeah. That falls into that category
it is.
as well.
Yeah, that's a good
But
example.
along that, with that though, people got to realize, because people think Madonna was just a caveman. Madonna did some brilliant things in that fight. That first knockdown he scored, he feinted a jab to the body. That's what put Broner's hands down, which is the fundamental. You never take your hands away from the chin. He moved it part of the hand down and then brought it right back up as a hook and caught him and dropped it.
Yep.
So that was a beautiful, beautiful shot, Madonna. But most people, he's just a caveman. He's gonna throw, whatever. He did several, and then the second time he dropped him, man, what he did, he doubled. I think he doubled or tripled the hook and then brought it from the body and upstairs and then dropped. And then when Broner wiggled to the ground or whatever, that second back.
That nigga melted like ice cream.
Yeah, so Madonna did some brilliant things in that fight.
Because after Broner tried to hump the nigga, that was it. Going forward.
Yeah, he was done.
Like that. I mean, like after he humped that nigga, I don't think Broner won another round. I could be wrong. I got to go back and look at the fight. But that's losing focus when you humping a nigga in the ring.
Hey, man, let's go ahead and wrap this show up. Hey, hold on, y'all. Let's go ahead and wrap this show up, man. My baby waking up and shit. I got to get in here with him. All right, man.
Can I go first? You mind?
Yeah. Go ahead. Closing thoughts, my brother. Go ahead, Boxing Nerd.
This was a great show, brothers.
Thank you.
Appreciate you three for coming on. Please come on as often as you can. I know you're a busy man, but it's always fun.
My schedule been hectic, bro. My son been sick all fucking week, so
nah, I hear you, brother.
That's why I've been having to cancel my shows and shit.
Yeah, no worries. You know we always show up for you, brother. But appreciate the panel, man. IO, General Big Fish, Stephen Brimley. You got another award today. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, that nigga definitely made the cut.
Mosquito Spray, Mr. Quentin, the Young, and everybody else that came on the panel. Appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good night, man.
Appreciate you, Boxing Nerd, man. All right, man. Going out to my nigga D Young. Closing thoughts, my brother.
Oh yeah, man. Appreciate you letting me on, bro. Always good talking about boxing, bro. Always good talking about boxing. And shit, man. I'm just looking forward to these next 2 weeks with Benavidez and Plant, man. So yeah, I appreciate you, bro. That's it.
Appreciate you, D. Appreciate you, man. All right, going out to the unbiased Brim Reaper. Closing thoughts, man.
Thank you, my brother. I'm just gonna say Usyk beat the fuck out of Fury. Fury's a bitch ass nigga. God bless.
Already, man. All right, going out to Mr. 214. Closing thoughts, my brother.
Hey, shout out to my dog, E-Thriller, the Black Picasso. Shout out to my right brother. Shout out to everybody who was on the panel tonight. Mosquito Spray, D Young, Steve Brim, Boxing Nerd, and salute to everybody who was in the channel, either commenting, everybody who hit that like button, because we really appreciate that over here in the Wolf Pack. Now, my closing thoughts is on this. I'm glad D Young brought that up, because this is something that I wanted to get in when because E-Thriller said this early in the thing when he was having that great conversation with Mosquito Spray breaking the fight down at first. He said now he gonna change his pick. He might change his pick to David Benavidez. David Benavidez is a flat-footed fighter. To me, it's a big difference. He a flat-footed fighter. He coming in this fight off emotions. I know you're supposed to have emotions. You're supposed to get yourself fired up and stuff like that. But I got Caleb Plant boxing this boy head off, and I'm gonna be the first one to say it right here. Caleb Plant is gonna hurt David Benavidez late in this fight. Watch what I tell you. Shout out to y'all though, man.
Yeah, we definitely gonna have to do a show on that shit, Ayo, because I wholeheartedly disagree. But I appreciate that take, my brother. Appreciate you for stopping by, man. Make sure y'all go sub up to IOTBA channel and the Spit Bucket. And last but not least, man, Closing thoughts going out to my brother Mosquito Spray, aka Eddy Atlas. Take us home, man.
Yeah, E3, appreciate you having me on, man. I enjoyed myself, man. I enjoyed the conversation, man. And like I say, just wish the best for Tony Harrison. If you want to have a farewell fight or just retire altogether. And man, yeah, we got to do this again, man. It feels good to be back on here, man.
Yes,
everybody
sir.
like, subscribe, become a part of the Wolf Pack, man. Join this movement, man. Everybody be safe. Y'all take it light. I'll catch y'all on the next.
Appreciate you, Mosquito Spray. My bud buddy. I mean, not my bud buddy, but the BFB Master Q just slid in the ring on me, man. Closing thoughts, my brother.
Hey, my brother. Good show.
Thank you.
I like the topic the brothers was talking about. Hey, man, I can't wait till the next time you come on.
Yeah.
So we can dip into a real topic that's real strong right now.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, everybody like, share, and subscribe. Until the next time.
Already, man. Shout out to everybody that pulled up on me on the panel. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the playback game. I appreciate everybody for sending me those cash apps, man. Drop a comment on the playback. Until next time, we are gone. Holla.